Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Aurora, and here I am to deliver you the weekly update, the weekly intuitive energy update. So today's going to be a little bit different because, quite frankly, I don't really feel like having a list and talking about it, and I'm kind of in my shit. And I know that a lot of us are in our shit right now. And I just kind of wanted to speak from the heart and not even talk about astrology. I will because I can't help it. And there are certain things that I do want to kind of touch base on. But other than that, I really just want to flow and I really just want to be here and be present. And I have my singing bowl here. This thing is so heavy. And I'm going to play it and just connect to my energy and help us to ground because honestly, like, I've been losing my shit. And I'm just figuring it out, just like the next, right? So, I'm here going through the human experience as well. And yeah, so this was my weekly energy update because I make the rules of my life and I can show up and do it however I want, right? So that's the beauty of the life that I've chosen to create. And so here I am doing it. And then also, we're going to go back to the OG. This is my first deck ever, guys, with Doreen Virtue. How to give an angel card reading kit. That's right. So, yeah, we're going to go back to the basics. Honestly, I haven't opened this deck for a very long time. So, yeah, we're going to see kind of what comes through with the angels. Yeah, so I'm just going to play my singing bowl for a minute. Yeah, comment below and just let me know how you've been going, things that you've been processing, dealing with. It's just a lot. And that's really what I'm going to say for it is, for me anyways, it's been very overwhelming and so much. I've changed so much and so much has changed in the world, and it's just finding that realignment throughout it, right? So, yeah, let's just go for it, guys, and see how the energy update goes this week. So, if you want to, just relax if you can. Obviously, if you're driving or busy, don't. Just close your eyes if you can, though. Connect to your breath. Really feel the earth beneath you. Really dig your toes into the ground. Really connect to your heartbeat. our guides and our angels and all beings of 100% pure love and light that are with us on this path. We're just going to take a moment to honor them and to thank them, because we're starting to see them. We're starting to notice them. We're starting to honor them. Our ancestors have walked a path before us that we do not have to. We say no more. We are not here to suffer any longer. We are not here to suffer any longer. This past week has been very difficult for a lot of us. And I just want to show up raw and authentic and real and honest and share my heart. Hopefully I don't cry. I probably will. I can already feel it. We've been through a lot. You've been through a lot. I've been through a lot. Humanity as a whole has been through a lot. And we're kind of hitting this precipice. We're kind of hitting this point of basically overwhelm, information overload. Like, when we don't process things as they come, we suppress them and it accumulates. And then it's not that person that cut you off in traffic, and it's not the person that's taking their time to do this, or whatever it is. It's not whatever is triggering you. It's that thing that you never dealt with that's being triggered by whatever that is. And I think we're all getting a pretty abrupt awakening right now. And it's not about being spiritual. It's not about anything. It's really just about you and connecting with you and finding your place in all of it and finding that purpose within. And it doesn't have to be something extravagant. Like, you don't know your path yet. You don't know what lies ahead, but you know who you are. And when everything in your life can align to what resonates with your frequency, then you're living your life in your highest expression. And so I look around and I see the collective, and I was feeling very apathetic last week, and I was struggling to connect to humanity again. Because it's like when you don't want to deal with something and you don't, right? And you just say, oh, fuck it, I don't want to deal with that, whatever. It's going to keep coming back up. So, I mean, of course, the collective is always going to keep coming back up. But I felt powerless. I felt like, this is so much. This is so overwhelming. How are we supposed to do this? How are we supposed to help? How are we supposed to do this? Like, so many people are unconscious, and I look around and I see, like, oh my God, like, this is a fucking job and a half, guys. Like, we really signed up for a doozy here, like, coming back to earth and helping raise the frequency of the collective consciousness, right? And of course, we have our own journeys as well, of our own individual consciousness. So, of course, I'm also on my journey of figuring out my path of my consciousness and how I perceive reality and where my place is in all of it. And it's just like, I feel like I've been so certain and I've identified with spirituality for so long that it's losing its meaning. So it's like when you start your journey and everything is just so magical and you see the synchronicities and the universe is showing up and you see the numbers and everything's in alignment and all these great things are happening and it's a really beautiful experience. But then what happens is we always have to come back down, right? We always have to anchor that frequency. We always have to bring that into our reality. It's not like we can live up in the clouds all day, every day, because we still have to chop wood and carry water, right? We still have to do the mundane day to day, like feed ourselves and exercise and take care of our children and go to work and this and that and all the things that pull us in all the directions. Like, I don't even have any kids, but I live in a life that is surrounded by people that do. And so, and I live with my mom. So it's like finding my balance in all of it, finding my peace in all of it, being grateful that I'm here and that I have a roof over my head and I have good food and I have all of these amazing things, and I really am grateful for it. But these feelings that I've been feeling for so long, I don't know what to do with them. I teach this stuff. I share this stuff. I know this stuff through and through. But to actually embody it is, I mean, it's the whole process. It's all of it, you know? So it's like getting overwhelmed in this experience is reminding me that I'm not connected to myself. So this next week coming forward, hopefully, you know, we can ground. We can figure it out. We can really realize, whoa, okay, we're in this very crazy, overwhelmed energy, and how can I make sure that I'm taken care of through this? Because if you're not taking care of you, you cannot help other people, guys. Like, this is such a basic thing. Like, and I'm saying it like this because I'm doing the same freaking thing, okay? I'm trying to help everybody else, and then I don't do my stuff, and then I get mad because my stuff's not done, and I'm depleted because I've been doing this and that, but it's not even that I don't have the time to do it. It's that I'm choosing not to do it, right? So, okay, there's my pattern. There's my program. That's me saying, okay, whoa, how am I going to shift this? How can I really just start actually doing what I need to do? And about reframing and changing all my habits and all my behaviors and all my patterns and dealing with relationship stuff and dealing with like being back at home with my mom and dealing with all these different things and anchoring in my business and my life purpose and my path. And Aurora always knows everything. If we have any questions, go ask Aurora. And like, while I really, really love being in that place of that safe space for people to come and safe space for people to open up to, I was not being there for me. I was abandoning myself. And so when my mom asks me to do something or something comes up or whatever it is, and I get pissed off and I go, I should be doing my work. I should be doing my work. I should be doing my work. You know? And then when I have time to do my work, I don't do it. So it's like finding that balance of like, you know, acknowledging what's not serving you. And then really taking that action to be able to do it. Like for me, it's simply at this point just telling myself that I don't have to be doing it. I don't have to be doing it. Right? And that's okay, because when I'm ready, it will all come together. But it's also finding that balance of, well, am I just like procrastinating and not actually like doing what I'm supposed to be doing, right? And getting caught in all these programs around what I should be doing, my expectation of the situation. And so it's just really not even the situation that the problem is. The problem lies in my perception of the situation, right? And my judgment of myself and what I think I should be doing. And reprogramming myself to say, well, I'm always exactly where I need to be. I'm always where I'm supposed to be. Okay? So then it's like finding the balance of once you've surrendered into the nothingness, you have to engage back in with the somethingness, the action. It's like, I've mastered the nothingness now. Like I went from doing, nonstop. And now I'm like, oh my God, the thought of even just being a human, like eating and exercising and functioning at a normal capacity and socializing and connecting with people, I'm like, oh, I don't really want to do that, right? So like, how am I supposed to be creating my business when I'm in my shit, when I'm in hermit mode, when I'm in this creation mode and I'm not choosing to create, and I'm getting overwhelmed with my environment, and I'm getting overwhelmed with the collective, and I'm getting overwhelmed with everything. And so all I have to do is come back here, come back to center, clean my room maybe, though that's my other problem, is that, oh, well, you'll do your work when your room is clean, and then, you get busy. So I'm just being open and vulnerable with you guys to just show you my own personal limitations and things that I'm going through, so that, like, I love talking about astrology, and I love getting into that, and I love getting into the energy and stuff like that, but sometimes I just feel like meeting people on this human level, like whenever I've connected with my friends, like they always feel so relieved, because, like, as do I, because it's like, wow, I can actually express myself and be heard and be seen and not have to worry. Like, I can say, I don't give a fuck right now, and it's okay. It's okay. Like, right now, I have no capacity to give any fucks. Like, I'm so fucking overwhelmed that I can't give any fucks, because I just need to chill out and move away from this and just bring myself back to myself. Right? And then the other big thing right now, guys, is like doing things when you don't really want to do them. When you want to say no, say no. When you want to do something, say yes. And I know it's so simple, but we do things out of obligation. We do things out of guilt. We do things out of this, like, like need for acceptance, or whatever your core reason as to why you people please, or why you can't say no, or why you can't put yourself first, is what we got to figure out. When was it? Where was it? How can I keep, like, for me, there's a very big masculine wound, like a father wound, because for me, I was always told that I'm with you. I'm always with you, babes. I'm always there with you. I'm always here for you. But as a little girl, as a child, you look around and he's not there. So you're telling me you're always with me, which I understand and I'm very grateful for on the spiritual side of things, right? Like, that really taught me the importance of really that eternal energy that we are, which I know that that's what he's teaching me, right? On a higher spiritual level. But as a little girl, as a human being, as a child that is separate from source, that needs that masculine and feminine energy balanced in order to be balanced, it really affected me, because my little girl self is like, well, Dad, you keep telling me you're here and you're not here. Like, I don't see you. You don't eat breakfast with us. You don't go grocery shopping with us. You don't do this. You don't take me to gymnastics. You don't go to soccer. You don't, right? And of course, like, as a kid, it was so normal, right? I didn't even think anything of it. I never had any ill feelings towards my dad around him not being there. Like, I was, because he always said, I'm always with you, right? And so, like, it wasn't until I became an adult that I realized that I carried this, like, almost like confusion and disappointment, right? Like, because it's like, that is the representation of my masculine, which is saying that you're there when you're really not. Saying that you're here for me in the moments that I need you, and then you're not. And I believe you. I believe you that you're going to be there, and then you're not. So that is a perfect reflection of the way that I show up in my life. And it was really funny, because this morning I even said to Mom, I made a comment about, like, oh yeah, well, I never do anything I say I'm gonna do, right? Because, like, there's all these things that I want to do and that I put out there, and honestly, most of it I don't do. I like to play in my mind a lot. I'm really, like, I like the creativity, and I like to start projects, but I don't like to finish them. So, all these things. And Mom was like, what are you talking about, Aurora? And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you always do it. Like, pretty much everything that you say you're gonna do, And then I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, I guess so. Like, in my my world of helping other people, you know, like in my world of like, hey Aurora, can you feed the chickens? Hey, can you bring the dog out? Hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do that? Hey, can you run and get me this? Hey, can you do that? Hey, can you? And I'm like, okay, I can take that. I'll take that. Okay, I do things that I say I'm gonna do, right? And just acknowledging that within myself, where I'm like, okay, yeah, I can acknowledge that. I do things that I say I'm gonna do. These weekly intuitive updates now. It's been, I don't know, like 14 weeks or something like that. Like, I'm pretty proud of myself for that, you know? And this week I decided to change it up a bit and just kind of talk like this to you guys. But like, I mean, it's true, and I do need to acknowledge my strengths and what I have overcome. So here we go. I'm a perfect mirror for you, and for you to realize what it is that you've overcome, what it is that, you know, the lessons that you've learned, kind of like, because that's the thing. It's like we're in this space of, and like, of awareness of basically everything. Like, we know everything, right? Like, kind of that energy, but we don't. We don't know what to do with all of it, right? It's like you have knowledge. Knowledge is just knowledge until you're going to do something with it. You can know everything. You can know everything about everything and everyone, but so what? Right? Like, what's your point? Why? Like, why do you need to know everything, right? What are you going to do with that? And that's that alchemical process of turning your knowledge into wisdom, right? And the wisdom is that action behind the knowledge, right? So it's really, really fascinating. But to be able to really just reflect and look back and really honor yourself and everything that you've been through and everything that you've gone through, and just say like, damn, like, I'm actually really proud of you, and being in that energy, right? And it's so hard when we're in our shit. We don't want to look at that stuff. We want to focus on the positive. We want to stay negative. And I don't know about you, but it's not like I really want to, but that stubborn part of me, that piece of me that doesn't think I'm worthy, that doesn't think I deserve anything, that fucking, what the hell do I know, that thinks that she, you know, can't do anything right, or doesn't finish what she starts, or, you know, there's all these different beliefs that I have about myself. And it's like, all those beliefs, there's that aspect of me that literally encompasses all those beliefs. It's like my lowest version self is a mess. My highest version self is a fucking rock star, and she's got everything figured out, and she knows what she's doing. And that's why people have that perception of me, right? Because that is me. That really is me. When I know, I know. When I'm tapped in, I'm tapped in. When I'm tuned in, I'm on it. And I'm like, yeah, yeah. When I'm exercising, I'm doing good. When I'm eating, you know, like when I have all these basic needs covered, I'm great. When I'm taking care of me on top of everything, right? But the thing is we get out of that rhythm, and it's just about getting back into that rhythm. So this week coming, that's what we're focusing on. Like, literally slow the fuck down, chill the fuck out, breathe, do what you need to in the sense of responsibilities, but anything extra, anything that anybody's asking you for help with, of course, use your own intuition and judgment and discernment. But say no this week. This is your week of saying no. Say no. I don't want to. No, thank you. I'm good. You know, like, say that. And it's going to feel so good to give yourself that space to say no. Like, to just be, and to just say no. No, thank you. And listening to that part of you. Communication is going to be really, really big as well, because with all of this emotional turmoil that each of us as individuals are going through is going to like shake up our foundation. And so basically, like, if you're questioning your relationship, if you're questioning your job, if you're questioning if you're a good parent, if you're questioning if you're a good friend, or a mother, whatever it is, you know, like, this is your foundation. This is your shake up to basically wake up. That's so good. Shake up to wake up. You know, it's your shake up to wake up, because that's really fun, you know? Okay, so anyway, it's your shake up though, basically to say, yo, like, this isn't working anymore. Like, when things like this happen in our lives, it's not because the world is against us. It's not because of this. It's not because we're a bad person. It's not because you did this wrong or right or whatever it is. It's literally like, okay, this isn't working. This isn't serving. So how can we move forward in a way that is? And the way that, you know, this is why a lot of people don't make the change in their lives until something bad happens. because we're not choosing to evolve. We're saying, nah, it's good, this will be fine, it's working this far, hey look, it's working this far, it's working this far, until you hit a point where you're like, okay, this shit ain't working anymore, and I'm gonna fucking lose my shit because I can't function like this anymore. And it's about reorganizing, rearranging, reprioritizing, processing. Like, holy shit, what is it that I want? What is it that I need? What is it that I'm even feeling or going through right now? Like, what is pulling you? Where's your energy? Who has it? Like, I mean, there's so much, guys, and I just, like, want to be able to teach you guys to hold this space as I'm holding this space for myself and my clients as well, right? So, like, and my friends and my family, right? Like, all of it. It's like, another one, okay, this is funny, it's coming through. Another one is that we don't hold the universe together, guys. God does that, Source does that, the universe does that, whatever does that, but it's not us. And I think realizing that, and especially family dynamics or a job, okay, like, you are not the one that holds it all together. I mean, you might be in a way, but you're not, because you always have choice. And so whatever it is that you're carrying, if you can't carry it any longer, this is where that communication's coming in. This is where, even just to yourself, like, whoa, I can't do this anymore. Like, something's got to give. Like, I'm gonna fucking die. Like, seriously, this is the energy we're in right now, guys. Like, it is seriously, like, feels like life or death. It is a big rebirth into our higher selves, and it does not feel good. It doesn't feel good, and it's a process. And honestly, friggin' eye roll, because nobody wants to hear it, but it's forgiveness and patience and trust. Forgiveness, patience, and trust. And forgiveness to yourself. Forgiveness to say, I just didn't know. I didn't know. I just didn't know. And now I know. I'm just going to pull some cards here. I'm going to make this one a little bit shorter today. So thank you for coming and listening and being present with me while I guide you and show you my process a little bit. I guess while I'm shuffling this, I will hit that astrology real quick, because we do have a full moon coming. We have a full moon coming. I don't even know the date because I didn't even write it down, but it's like next week, midweek or something. Well, this week, I guess. This week, midweek, so I'm not 100%, but you'll have to look it up. But it's in Capricorn, and it's so funny because Capricorn is an earth sign. My brother Austin is a Capricorn, and I'm a Pisces, and we are like he lives down here and I live up here, okay? Like, I live up in the airy fairy fantasy land, and he is like very practical and loves his routine, and I think he's so boring. Not so much now as an adult, but I'm speaking from my inner child, right? Like, I used to think, wow, like, you're so boring, why don't we like go outside and play? But he'd rather like sit there and read a book or play his video games, and I wanted to like run around like a crazy man and do flips and tricks, and you know, I just had so much energy, and he was just not into the same thing as me. So I used to just think, oh, you're so weird, dude. Like, you know, because I'm one of 7 kids, so there was always plenty of us, right? So it's just so interesting how we connect. And now as an adult, I'm really learning to honor those traits of being a human, of being grounded, of having a routine, of, you know, like having a solid foundation. Whereas before, I'm like, oh no, I'm a gypsy, I can just go and be wherever I want. But I'm like, actually, no, I need a foundation, because if I don't have a foundation, then I go a little bit kooky up there, okay? So we're entering into this energy of the full moon in Capricorn. And so Capricorn is very grounding, like I said, routine oriented. It's going to be a very physical experience of basically like what is not serving you in your physical. Like, do you need to change your eating habits? Do you need to exercise? Right? Like, very fundamental, mundane kind of things. But it's they're the pillars, right? They're the building blocks. It's what creates the rest, right? So really having that awareness that this full moon that's coming up is going to be shining a light on these aspects relationship aspects, home aspects, foundational, job, right? And then we're also entering into Cancerian season. So in the astrological cycle, it's about a month each sign stays in for the sun, right? And so we were just in Gemini season, and we're now entering into Cancer. So again, more nurturing energy, because the Gemini energy is very polar. It's very opposite. It's like you either have black or you have white, and there's nothing else that exists, right? You have this A or B, this way or that way, left or right. And there's not so much that neutral point, right? And I guess also Gemini rules communication. And so we just had Mercury retrograde, and I think it's going direct tomorrow or something, but on the 22nd or something like that. But anyway, so, and I guess Mercury is ruled by Gemini, or vice versa, however that works, right? They're related. So Mercury has been retrograde in its home sign. When Mercury is retrograde, any planet that is retrograde is basically like slowing us down to look and reflect and to acknowledge, kind of like it's giving us this space to see what it is that's serving us and what's not. Now Mercury is all about communication, as is Gemini, right? Because they're together, right? And so that's kind of like what we've been really going through in this last month, like going through this Gemini season on top of Mercury being retrograde. So there's been a lot of purification with our communication and even our internal dialogue of connecting to ourselves and our truths and standing in our power, right? And being like, whoa, like this isn't working. Or in our relationships, usually you brush something under the rug and not happening anymore. Like either this is gonna work and we're gonna enjoy ourselves and work through what it is that we need to work through, or we gotta go our separate ways, because I don't want to keep living in this pattern, in this cycle. And sometimes it serves us to walk away, and sometimes it serves us to stay and work through it. And only you will know that, right? And so that's really like what's becoming clear, and in our jobs, right? And in anything external to us, right? Because we're communicating with that. It's whatever it is that we're putting out is what we're getting back, right? So what is it that you're putting out? And kind of like when you look around, what is it that you've manifested? And what is it that you're needing to take responsibility for and shift out of? So then that's the last month. This week we have the full moon. Mercury is going direct, and there's like other things going on as well that aren't really as important to me, meaning I don't understand them that much. And the other one is the summer solstice. So obviously if you're in the southern hemisphere, then you're in your winter solstice, and so you guys are in your yin phase, which is, you're drawn into yourself. It's like when the trees hibernate for the winter, and they lose their leaves and they go into this preservation mode, and so they're not as liquidy, and like all the stuff's not flowing through them, and they kind of slow down and get solid. So that's the southern hemisphere. And of course in the northern hemisphere, we're in summer. We're full-blown summer right now. So like we're the complete opposite. Like life is fucking flowing. Like we're in the midst of it. Like, crops are planted, food is growing, green, grass is green. I wanted to say grass and green at the same time. The grass is green, like we have everything, we've already had blooming flowers. We have our leaves back, life is booming. So same energetically for our life. That's why we're so overwhelmed, right? Like if you're in the southern hemisphere, you might think, oh, I'm overwhelmed with my own internal emotions and what is going on. And here it's like, oh my God, there's so much going on out there. I don't even know what to do because I'm just so overwhelmed and I can't figure it out, and I don't even know who I am and where's everyone going and how can I, and so it's like that overwhelm. And it's from external though, because it's like we're taking in all this information and we're not processing it, right? And so what's happening with this energy, so the summer solstice is the longest day of the year, right? So it's when we have the most sunlight. And so what that represents is illuminating our shadows and integrating our light, right? And I'm going to say that again because it's so important to know right now, is that right now in this energy that we're in of this summer solstice, which is today or yesterday, depending on where you are in the world, it's illuminating our shadow and we're integrating our light, right? So we're integrating our higher frequencies and embodying those, and we're putting a light on our shadow so that we're able to overcome it. That's really all that it is. So keep this in mind, okay? And then with the Cancerian energy, we're going into that season. As I said, we were just in Gemini. Now we're going into Cancer, and Cancer is all about the home life, okay? Like, it's so feminine, it's so receptive, it's so emotional, it's water, it's flow, it's that mother energy, it's that I want to nurture you and take care of you and give you a safe space and make sure that you get everything you want and need, and that's the energy we're going into. So not only did we just process all that last month and these last few weeks, and I was saying purge, purge, purge. Oh yeah, we also had eclipse season. Okay, see, there's so much. I just didn't even want to sit down and think about it because I didn't even want to know what was going to come through. Eclipse season, right? That's the other thing. So the eclipse season also is all these portals, right? All these portals are opening. And so what happens there is this influx of energy, all these surges of energy coming in, right? So on top of all the transits, then all these eclipses. And so just keep in mind, guys, like there's a lot going on right now, and just be gentle with yourself and be patient. And thankfully, we're going into the Cancerian season right now, and we're entering into an energy that is more nurturing and heart-centered. And I mean, then you got to think too, like it's got that mama bear aspect of that home life, of that protectiveness. So there's also going to be that. And for me, I think that's where like a lot of my frustration comes from, because it's like, God, like the world is so warped and I'm the one that's being called crazy. Like no one's really calling me crazy, but I know that my beliefs align with the tinfoil hat wearers, you know, like people that are gonna make fun of people that actually have the capacity to think and to ask questions and to elaborate and to look into different things and to have their own beliefs. And I'm like, oh wow, you know, like it's really intense stepping up into the world and really speaking your truth and really speaking from your heart, because like people are fucking mean and people are ignorant and they'll say things that they don't even know that they've said, and then you're over here crying about it because you're like, oh my god, that's so mean, why would you ever treat somebody like that? Meanwhile, they have no idea that they even did anything, right? So that's the energy of just like, hey, learning to purge those old experiences. So if you draw them in, it's okay, but you have to purge that energy. You have to, it's not about cutting the cord, it's about, you know, like hooking back into source. It's like unplugging, because you're trying to connect back to source through whatever external source there is. So it's like a partner, for example. Oh, I'm going to try to connect to source through my partner. Well, shit keeps coming up and I can't connect to source. Oh, right, that's because I'm supposed to connect to source through my own body and vessel and consciousness. Same with drugs, or same with any addiction, or same with whatever it is. Like you're trying to fill this void, right? And so just remind yourself that. Remind yourself, okay, this is what I'm going through, and really be that higher self voice. Be that cheerleader for yourself. Remind yourself of all that you've been through, all that you're here for, you know? Remind yourself of your greatness, because it is overwhelming, but in order for us to know our place and find our place, we have to sit with ourselves to know that, right? It only makes sense. Okay. Wow. 43 minutes. That is wild. I've sat here. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for showing up and for doing this work. Honestly, like, it's so powerful. Ooh, that one wanted to jump out. What is it? Clairaudience. Notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. Right, guys? So this is what I'm talking about with that internal dialogue, right? You're getting guidance all the time and you don't even know it. You're hearing it you're receiving it, you're getting it all the time. And it's just about having that awareness. Hearing that song come on the radio that's speaking right to your freaking soul. Finding a coin on the ground and just knowing within your heart that it's a loved one that's passed away, or seeing a cardinal, or whatever your sign is. Are you listening? Literally. Are you listening? Are you being receptive to receive guidance, right? So, like, start noticing the good things. Start noticing the way that people are showing up. Say it's like financial, and like you got to save $100 on something. I don't know, like, but instead of just being like, oh, whatever, cool, great, whatever, you go, oh my God, it's like basically you just got $100. Like, imagine it like someone gave you $100, right? Instead of seeing it as, oh, it just was like a 100 knocked off my total. It's like, no, like, it's like, imagine somebody just gave you $100. You know what I mean? Like, little things like that to help really realize, like, really, like, your abundance, because you're the only one limiting you from your abundance, right? Speaking of myself here. But that's the truth, right? You're the only one limiting yourself from your abundance. So it's like, are you noticing? Do you have the awareness? Are you listening to the signs and the messages? So this week, you're really being asked to slow down and listen. Just slow down and listen. Whoa, that one flew right out. Dun-da-da! You know what to do. That's what it says. You know what to do. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about for you. I know what I'm talking about for me and the human experience, but I don't know what the heck I'm talking about for you, right? And so then that's your job to know, to tap into that knowing, to access source through your own vessel, to be able to talk to your angels and talk to your guides, and have your own spiritual journey and experience without needing somebody else outside of you to tell you, where to go or how to do it, right? Because it's all in here. It's literally what all the teachings of all the world are saying is like, it's in you. You are it. Like, you are the gold. So you are the love, right? So you have to give it in order to receive it, and especially to yourself. So here we have Archangel Uriel. Trust your inner knowing, trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. So I just heard this from me to ask, trust my inner knowledge. So maybe, this week we don't plan out our week as well as we maybe normally would, but we keep it kind of open and ask the universe, what am I going to do today? What am I going to do today? Instead of like, oh, these are all the things I have to do. Like it's a job and like it's a chore and like you don't want to do it. Well, you know what you need to do, right? So instead of feeling obligated, it's like, okay, let's put it out to the universe. What do I need to do today? And let it flow. Let it come in. Listen, right? What do I need to do today? Listen. Or it could be anything, guys. That's what I just heard. It could be anything. It should be like, is this the relationship that I need to be in? Answer. Is this serving me? Answer. Do I need to get a new car? Yes. Answer. Things like this. Like, what is it? Ask the question. You know what to do. So trust that inner knowing. Sometimes you have to ask the question to even know that you know, right? But do that. Invite it in and then listen. That's perfect. Honest to God. Let me get one more card for the week. And this, we got two. They flew out. Love it. Clear your space and crystal clear intentions. So get rid of clutter, clear the energy around you, and use feng shui. Okay, so guys, like, honestly, like, energy work, like, you have to have spiritual hygiene, right? Like, you have to have that awareness of, like, what it is that you're feeling, and if you're carrying somebody else's energy, and if there's, like, energy that's attached to you, maybe that you've picked up throughout the day. Are these my emotions? Are these not? Like, these are all things that you're going to have to learn to understand about yourself, because they'll always be there. You're an energetic being living in an energetic reality. So everything is energy, right? So you're going to have to understand how to maneuver through that energy more than just being this physical vessel. So on top of me saying, oh my God, it's so overwhelming. We have to eat and we have to sleep and we have to go to the bathroom and we have to do all this stuff just to take care of ourselves. Well, on top of that, guys, a deeper layer, which is funny, I say on top, it could really be below that technically, right? Just kidding. Well, not, but I'm just being silly. But it's about that energetic clearing, because attached to your emotions, attached to your experiences, this all energy, right? So, like I said, that thing that's getting triggered within you, it might, it's not, well, it's not, might, it is not whatever is going on outside of you. It's not that. It's triggering something within you. So follow that feeling. Acquaint with that feeling. When in my life have I felt that and why? You know, like, what is this bringing up for me? Because I am freaking the fuck out and I don't even know why. You know? So, why? Ask yourself why. And that's this again, right? Like, ask the question and listen. Ask the question and listen. Okay? So clear your space. It could be physical, but definitely energetic here, guys. Like, massively energetic, because you're carrying everybody else's energy. I'm just telling you that right now. Okay? Maybe I gotta do like some type of meditation or something, or teaching to teach you guys how. But that's all the stuff I'm working on, right? So like that'll come in time, but really, really important. Like, get rid of clutter, clear your energy around you physically. If you have sage, if you have Palo Santo, if you have any incense or anything that you like to use to smudge or to clear your energy. Open up the windows, let the air flow, you know, stuff like that. And then last but not least, crystal clear intentions. So be clear about what you desire and focus upon it with unwavering faith, guys. That's what this is. I should have known. This card was reversed, okay, as well when I took it out. So they were like this, okay. So this is showing me what lies behind our energy is our intention, okay. And it's showing us that, like, we don't actually know what our intention is, and that's why it's reversed. Because it's like, well, what is my why? Why am I doing everything, right? Like, what is your purpose? What is your intention? Why are you choosing to do the things that you're choosing to do, right? And that's our block. That's why it's reversed, right? So it's just really about, like, doing that energy clearing, guys. Energy clear, energy clear. And that's exactly what this is, by the way. These are literally telling you the exact same thing. Asking the question, clear your space, right? Ask the question, listen, right? You have to have a space in order to listen. So you create the space, you clear the space by asking the question. You now have your space cleared. You're listening to receive it. And then you're purifying your intention over here, right? You're like, okay. Now I see what I want, and I'm gonna get it. And I'm right there, and I'm so close, right? Instead of getting in that overwhelm, okay? So ask the question, listen for the answer, clear your space physically and energetically, and reset your intention. Just reconnect to your intention, you know? Reconnect to your intention. Reconnect to your why, okay? That was a big transmission. That was a lot of energy. We're stepping into our power, guys. We're stepping into our purpose. We're stepping onto our path. And it's going to be so beautiful. It's going to be so amazing. And as painful as it is, and as hard as it is, and as overwhelming as it is, we're all human here. We're all going through this together. None of us are alone. You have support. Ask for community. If you don't have it, then ask for it. Keep asking. Say, I really need people. I really need like-minded people. I really need a tribe. That's where I'm at right now with life. So I'm just embodying and focusing on me and my life and my path and my journey and my purpose. And from there, everything else will flourish. Right? Once my needs are met, then I can take care of others. Okay? So you guys have a beautiful, beautiful week. I'm sending you so much love. I do have sessions actually opening right now, so I am starting to get all that rolling. So I will get the link below for you to book in a session if there's like stuff that you're going through and you just don't know. You just are like, oh my God, how do I even process this? I don't even know who I am. I don't even know where I stand in all of this. And I can hold that space and I can pull cards for you and we can tap in and channel information and pull through what we need. To guide you through this part of your path right now. So I'm sending you guys so much love, and again, have an amazing week. I'll see see you when I see you.